Doesn't really matter what map we're on. They should all be big enough. Try not to kill anyone on accident. And we're going to explore these different moves before we kind of test them out on our own. So at this point, guys, what we're doing is we're getting beyond just kind of playing around freeform and thinking more intentionally about what our options are, right? So we'll try to. Well, you don't even need a weapon to do this, because all these things we're talking about apply to unarmed as well. So if you can grab a weapon, great. If not, it doesn't matter, because you'll be able to test this out. So go ahead and find a space so you're not going to collide with anyone else, so we can test out these moves and just see what our characters do. We'll have plenty of time to kill each other in a minute. So there's a weapon up here if someone wants it. Alright, find a spot, guys. Find a spot. Find a spot. Okay. Everyone stand still. Everyone stand still. Preferably not while you're sliding down the side of a skyscraper. Alright, everyone just find a space where you got a little bit of room, okay? So we're going to test out all the inputs for your character, and hopefully this will kind of illuminate some things about what your options are, okay? So first we have grounded lights. Alright, stop hitting each other, guys. This is like the moment in soccer practice where everyone's goofing around and I make you run 20 laps. Alright, so when we're just standing here, if you just press the light attack button, you'll get your neutral light. So go ahead and press that now. Alright, now you'll notice if you press up and neutral at up and at light attack at the same time, you'll get the same attack. Same goes for up and right and up and left. You'll get the same exact attack, no matter if you're hitting up or nothing. Same thing, right? Take a look at where that hits. Like, where does that attack on the screen around your character? Is it next to them? Is it above them? Is it below them? Is it a long attack? Is it a quick attack? Alright. Now, ooh, that middle one's wrong, isn't it? That should be neutral light. You can ignore that one. Okay, so then side light. So now the next attack is you're going to hit left or right and light attack. See what your character does. Most of the time, this is a move that will move you sideways, move you toward your opponent. Mm-hmm. Alright, and then the last one is your down light. So, you're going to hit down or down left or down right, and you should get your down light attack. Okay? Now, we're going to do the same thing for our heavy attacks. Alright, so chill for a second. Now, same thing. Now, neutral heavies are also known as signature moves. Now, these are going to be different for your character when you're holding a weapon. So if you look, let's see if I can give you an example here. Does anyone else have guns? No. Hold on a second. Let me grab another weapon to show you what I mean. Oh, okay. Well. Alright, so, who is that? Valerie. Okay. Valerie has a spear and I have a spear, right? So check this out. So you see her up here, where I'm jumping? She's got the white. She's the one in white. Alright, so Val, hit just your light attack button. Alright, so see, I have the same exact attack, right? Same attack, right? Now, just hit your heavy attack button. Her heavy attack, this Mastodon comes out, right? Now here's mine. Totally different. Now, they're called signature moves because no other character will have that same move. Everyone has signature moves, but they are different for every character depending on their weapons, okay? Whereas if I have a spear, my light attacks are the same as everyone else's who has a spear. But signature attacks set me apart. So go ahead and now try your neutral sig, your side sig, and your down sig. See what your character does. You'll notice that they hit differently. Some characters have neutral sigs that hit above them. Some characters have neutral sigs that hit in front of them. Some characters have down sigs that hit all over them on both sides. Some characters have down sigs that hit above them. Take note of what they do. And you can beat each other up for a second if you want, but we're gonna get back to trying out our air sigs in a second. Okay. All right. In about 10 seconds, we're going to go back to learning about air attacks. Okay. All right, so let's regain our composure here. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna try and fix this graph for you guys. Oops. There we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and find a spot. We already did neutral light, we did neutral signature. Now, here's where things get weird. So you can either do unarmed or with a weapon, doesn't matter. Okay, so now we know what our options are on the ground, right? You have a total of 6 attacks, right? Neutral light, side light, down light, then you got your neutral sig, side sig, and down sig. Okay, now, here's where it gets weird. And everyone, you're going to have to find some space for this one so you don't accidentally kill your buds, alright? So, alright, hold emote when you're ready. Hold emote when you're ready. That's how I'm going to know you're ready. Hold the emote button. You should all be cheering yourselves on. There we go. Alright. Ron, emote. Thank you. Alright, so, now we get into the airborne moves, and I'll try and do this quicker so you can get into practicing. So, same thing as on the ground. While I'm airborne, I've got a neutral air. Mine shoots up ahead. Wait a second, let me kind of show you what I'm talking about. I've got a side air, or a side light, in the air. Looks like this. And I've got a down. Same inputs, right? So I can get my neutral air by pressing nothing, I can get it by pressing up, I can get it by pressing up right. All of them do the same thing. Now, here's what I want you guys to remember. The names that you're going to see for this move, and what I'm going to call them from now on, are the ones that you see in parentheses. So this is called neutral air, which we abbreviate to nair. We've got side air, which we call sair, and down air, which we call dare. Right? It's just a quicker way to say it or write it. Okay? Now, go ahead and practice those. See what your character's neutral, side, and downs do. You'll notice that the side airs tend to cover a lot of ground. The down airs tend to hit things that are either directly below you or below you and to the side. And those up ones tend to hit directly above you. So those are good for keeping pressure on them when they're in the air. Now, here's where things get interesting. Do you guys see the exception here? We have only 2 attacks, not 3 in this situation. So when we're jumping, if you hit a signature move, these are actually not unique to your character. They're the same for every weapon. Okay, so like me holding guns and Ron holding guns, we're going to get the same exact attacks when we hit our heavies in the air. So there's only 2 options. It's not called neutral heavy. The first one is called recovery, right? So mine, I flip up and I hit above me. Most people are going to hit above them in some way. Now this is going to be more powerful than your light. It's going to take a little longer to do, but it's usually a really good way to knock someone off the top of the map. as you can see. They call it recovery because it also is something that will help you get back on the map. Now check this out. If you stand still for a second, guys. Give me 1 minute. Let me just show you what I mean. So once you get into the air, whether you jump into the air or fall into the air, you get, ready for it? 1, 2, 3. Oop, 1. Wait, Ron. Yes, we get it. You can juggle. So you get a total of, once you're in the air, 1, 2 jumps and a recovery. The reason we call it recovery is because this attack will actually move you upward. So if you're falling, right, 1 jump, 2 jumps, and a recovery. I have all 3 to get back on the map. Once I touch the side, I get all of those back. 1, 2, recovery. Okay, so that's why we call it recovery. And recovery, you can get it by hitting heavy in the air. You can get it by hitting left or right heavy in the air. You can get it by hitting up heavy in the air. It's all going to do the same exact thing. Okay? So go ahead and try that out. Alright, 15 more seconds to mess around. And we'll bring it back. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, and all right, let's bring it back here. All right, so let me share my screen again. All right, so things are about to get real weird. You guys ready for this? And this is going to answer your question from earlier, Josephine, about the gravity cancels. So, you've got all these moves, right? I've got my grounded moves and I've got my air moves. But because Brawlhalla is a really complex game, there's actually an exception. You actually have access to even more moves while you're in the air. Check this out. A lot of people don't figure this out on their own unless you play the tutorial. So, you see me down here, guys? Now check this out. This is my grounded signature move, right? When I just press heavy, I do this, right? Just watch my character for right now so you can see how this works. So this is what I do when I hit heavy. When I'm in the air, this is my recovery. It's not the same, right? Now check this out. There's something called a gravity cancel. This allows you to use your grounded signature moves while you're in the air, right? So usually I can only do this on the ground. If I'm in the air and I press heavy, I just do my recovery. But if I quickly press the dodge button, now I have to hit just dodge. It'll look like this, right? If I press a side button in dodge, it won't work because I'll move to the side. I'll do something wonky, right? But if I just press dodge, I'm going to pause in the air. And when I do that, I can use any of my grounded moves while I'm in the air. So check this out. See my recovery in the air like this? Now watch what happens if I gravity cancel and press the same button. I can do my signature move in the air. Same with side signature. Same with down signature. I can even do my light attacks in the air. If I pause, look at that. There's my air normal, side normal, side light, and down light, right? So you actually have access to even more moves in the air than you do on the ground. So, as you can see, guys, we're about to run out of time here. It's going to be hilarious. You have access to all of these different options, and you actually have access to all your grounded options while in the air if you use gravity cancel. So, you have a ton of options at any given moment on the screen, and there's always going to be an optimal button to press based on where the person is around you. Alright, here we go. Showdown. Oh, never mind, it's over. Okay, so, the deal is, guys, there's always going to be an optimal button to press, right? So, you don't want to press the button that hits directly above you when your enemy is right next to you. You're not going to hit him. You don't want to hit the button that hits underneath you when your opponent is to the side of you, because you're not going to hit them. So, you have to know what your options are. And as you get a better understanding of your character and where their attacks hit on the screen, you're going to be better able to make that split-second decision about what button to press to continue attacking them, right? Because this game is all about movement, and the decision you make is going to completely change based on where your enemy is in relation to you. But it's important that when we start playing this game and trying to get more serious about winning, that you start really playing with one character for a sustained period of time so that you can understand what your options are. Because if you're always changing characters, it's really hard to remember what their attacks are. But if you play as one character for 5, 10, 15 matches in a row, you'll start to figure out what the best button to press in any given situation is. Okay. So, what I would like to do, since we all just practice together rather than doing it alone in training mode, is we can just start playing some matches. And what I want you guys to do in these matches is something that I know is really, really hard to do in this game, okay? It's going to be a challenge. You ready for this? I want you to press about 10% as much buttons as you usually do. Now, usually when we're playing, it's like attack, attack, jump, attack, run, jump, attack. I want you to choose very carefully what button you press. Try to do less attacks. So instead of just spamming a bunch of attacks when you see someone in the air, I want you to try to hit them with just a perfectly timed attack. Right? Press the button one time, and if you don't hit, back away, dodge, move around. Okay? Play a lot slower paced game. And what this is going to force you to do is to really pick your spots and also be really, really intentional about what attack you use, right? So rather than just hitting a button for the sake of hitting a button, you're going to think about which button is the best one to hit, okay? And we're going to see how this changes the way we play. So for the sake of making it a little bit less chaotic, I think we'll break into 2 rooms. Cries and spammer. So light attacks, it doesn't have to be a light attack. It can be a heavy attack. But you want to pick the move that's going to hit them. Your goal here, guys, is accuracy, right? So we don't have these statistics available to us in Brawlhalla the way we do in other games, but I want you to think of it almost like you're playing a first-person shooter. You always get that statistic that says accuracy, like if you hit 10% of your shots versus 50% of your shots. I want you to think about this next couple of games as you want to hit the highest percentage of attacks. So if there was a stat that they showed after you were done with the match, like how many times you hit based on how many times you press buttons, you want to be as close to 100% as possible. Okay? So why don't we break into 2 rooms to practice this? Yeah, exactly, Josephine. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we'll go... Tristan, you're playing, right? And then Quinn, are you playing as well?